Out of all the crow family, the common raven is probably the most well known. They're the largest member, with a wingspan of 120 to 150 centimetres and weighing from 800 to 1,500 grams. That's 4 to 5 feet and 1.7 to 3.3 pounds. They are glossy black over their entire bodies and have large, powerful black beaks. They're extremely acrobatic in the air, and when flying, they display a diamond-shaped tail. One bird was even recorded travelling for more than half a mile whilst flying upside down. Ravens are very intelligent, and just like they're found all across the northern hemisphere, including most of the North American continent, Europe, Russia and Asia. In the UK, their range extends from the north of Scotland to the south of England, all the way to the west coast of Wales and across Northern Ireland. They are also present in the east of England, but only in small, albeit gradually increasing numbers. Ravens can eke out a living in almost all habitats, from dense forests to open moorlands, uplands or lowland areas, and pretty much anything in between. The only habitat they don't seem to do too well in is densely populated urban areas. A raven's diet is extensive and varies throughout the year. They'll happily feed on berries, fruits, grains, crops and carrion, but they'll also prey on reptiles, amphibians, small mammals, fish and other species of birds, including their chicks and eggs. Ravens don't start nesting until they are 2 to 4 years old, but they can form non-breeding relationships from their first year onwards. Once a pair is formed, they'll claim a territory and defend it from all other ravens. Each pair will create a large bowl-shaped nest of sticks, twigs and roots, bound together with mud and bark and then lined with softer materials such as feathers, wool and fur. This can be on a cliff edge, in the fork of a tree, or sometimes on buildings. From February onwards, depending on the weather, each female will lay between 3 and 7 brown blotched blue coloured eggs. These measure just under 5 centimetres or 2 inches in length. The female incubates the eggs alone, whilst the male stands guard for 18 to 21 days. At first, the chicks are pink and they have their eyes closed. They are fed in the nest for around 40 days before they are ready to fledge, but the parental duties do not end there. The young birds may stay with their parents for up to 6 months after fledging, learning the ways of the raven, how to find food and survive. After this, the young birds often form flocks with other unpaired youngsters and roam widely in search of resources before finally settling once they find mates and territories of their own. Ravens communicate with each other through a series of natural vocalizations, but they have also been found to gesture to one another, pointing at objects with their beaks and picking up items in order to gain the attention of other birds. This makes them the first known non-primate animal to naturally use gesturing. They are also phenomenal mimics and use this to their advantage. They sometimes mimic wolves, foxes or vultures in order to get them to come to a dead animal if they themselves are unable to get to the meat inside. In captivity, they also become great mimics of people, copying entire sentences and mechanical noises. Here is one of the common calls of a wild raven. Ravens are amazingly intelligent and have been shown to have abilities to problem solve that are almost unparalleled in the animal kingdom. Whereas a lot of other animals can learn through trial and error, ravens have been shown to not only learn from one another, but also to create solutions in their brains without trying things. This gives them a greater rate of success and waste less time in learning. Captive ravens have also been shown to have an understanding of a fair trade, and would interact more with researchers who had rewarded them fairly in previous experiments. A flock of common ravens is known as an unkindness, and they have been associated with a lot of mythology and religions. In Christianity, it was a raven that was sent by Noah in order to find land. In the wild, ravens have an average lifespan of 10 to 15 years, with one ringed wild bird surviving to 22 years and 7 months of age. In captivity, they often survive for more than 40 years.